Hi guys, my name is Chris and you're watching Wrestling Today, so let's start with CM Punk has revealed a tentative timeline for his return to the ring following an unfortunate injury suffered during the 2024 Royal Rumble event. Making his eagerly awaited return at the Men's Rumble match, Punk's comeback was marred by misfortune when a future shock DDT delivered by Drew McIntyre resulted in a torn right triceps. Despite the injury, Punk displayed his resilience, valiantly finishing the match before ultimately being eliminated on the subsequent Raw episode. Punk addressed his injury, confirming his absence from WrestleMania and recounting the attack by McIntyre. During an interview at UFC 298 conducted by Caroline Pierce, Punk shed light on his situation, expressing his disappointment at missing out on headlining WrestleMania 40 while also offering insights into his recovery process. CM Punk said, fingers crossed, yeah, I was going to headline WrestleMania. Obviously, now I'm not. But, it's sports. It's what happens to athletes. Mentally, I think it's harder because the physical pain is whatever, but I look at it just like a bump in the road. This is an occupational hazard. It happens and I'll be back bigger and better. I'm a clumsy idiot. I tore my left triceps about 2 years ago, so the right one was jealous. I'm like an old cobbler. I'm like a 72 Nova, you know what I mean. We have to change some parts every now and again. So once we fix up all the parts, the engine's still strong, we'll still be good to go. We're thinking maybe 6 to 8 months, but I'm not really in a rush to get back to compete. I'm in a rush to get healthy, I'm in a rush to get better. The sooner I do that, the better I'll be when I come back. Despite his setback, Punk made a lively appearance at the WrestleMania kickoff show, injecting his trademark humor by repeatedly questioning why people weren't engaging in fisticuffs. How do you perceive CM Punk's attitude towards his injury and recovery process based on his recent statements? Additionally, considering his determination to return stronger, what impact do you think his absence will have on the wrestling landscape in the interim? The next story is about WWE's upcoming pay-per-view, Elimination Chamber, set to take place in Perth, Australia, will feature the country native, Grayson Waller, hosting a special edition of his talk show, The Grayson Waller Effect. The guests on the talk show will be World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins and the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes. The duo will come to address the speculation of forming a possible alliance in their war against the Bloodline on the road to WrestleMania 40. Rollins and Rhodes came together on Raw this past week to talk about Cody's issues with Roman Reigns and The Rock and offered to be his shield in the fight against the Samoan Icons. However, Grayson Waller showed some of his hellish traits amidst this huge feud in an attempt to mock his upcoming guests. He took to his ex to bring up their heated feud in the past, taking a shot at the two former rivals now trying to join forces. Seth Rollins was the first prominent rival when Cody Rhodes made his return to WrestleMania 38. The duo had a series of matches that ended at WWE Hell in a Cell where Cody defeated Rollins with a broken shoulder. However, with the time completely changed now, it would be interesting to see if the duo could come together to fight against one of the most dominant duos in The Rock and Roman Reigns. Do you think Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes would form an alliance? The final story is about Stone Cold Steve Austin has reflected on his historic match against Kevin Owens at WWE WrestleMania 38 and expressed a desire to improve upon his performance. The notion of Stone Cold Steve Austin stepping back into the wrestling ring in 2022 was once deemed improbable, if not impossible. Yet, Austin defied expectations by headlining the first night of WrestleMania 38 in a no-holds-barred match against Kevin Owens. This marked Austin's return to in-ring action after a staggering 19-year hiatus, since his iconic retirement match against The Rock at WWE WrestleMania. In a recent interview with Mark Raimondi of ESPN, Austin acknowledged that upon reviewing the match, he identified areas where he believes he can enhance his performance. However, despite this self-awareness, Austin emphasized that fans shouldn't anticipate seeing him donning his wrestling gear anytime soon. Austin said, "I dissected what I did, and I know that I can improve on what I did," Austin shared with ESPN. "I said I'd never get in a ring again unless all the stars aligned. For some reason, somehow, they all did. At the age of 57, I headlined the first night of WrestleMania. I never thought I'd do that. If you'd have told me that when I retired in 2003, I'd have said, you're crazy. So I'm not gonna sit here and say no to anything because you never say never in this crazy business of sports entertainment." While Austin admitted his profound love for the wrestling industry and the exhilarating adrenaline rush it provides, he cautioned fans against expecting a repeat performance. Nevertheless, he hinted at the possibility. "I love the sports entertainment business more than anything I've ever done in my life," Austin said. "You get a dose of it, and you want more. Here I am talking to you a couple years later about doing it again. That's how addicting it is to me, just to talk about it. I get excited, and I'll start talking too fast. But it's not gonna happen. But it could." In addition to reflecting on his recent return to the ring, Austin also entertained the idea of potentially facing off against CM Punk, now that Punk has made his highly anticipated return to WWE. Were you a fan of Steve Austin's match against Kevin Owens at WrestleMania? What did you think of the match? Thanks guys for watching and please subscribe.